Hello and welcome to Follow the Money. I'm Robert Tan, and here we uncover the stories and strategies of how money really moves. Today we're talking about a bold call from the country's top business groups, including the PCCI, urging President Marcos Jr. to act fast on corruption in infrastructure and restore trust and protect investor confidence. And joining us today is Mr. Brian Ang, the Vice President for Trade Facilitation and Board Director of the Philippine Chamber of Commerce and Industry.
Good afternoon, Robert.
Yes, thanks for joining our show.
Thanks
for taking time
Thank
from
you
your
for the
busy
invitation.
schedule. Now, Brian, let's start with this. What pushed the business community to go public with this appeal?
I think what happened is this flood control scam has turned into a massive number. And after the last Blue Ribbon hearing, suddenly everything became quiet and everything was controlled by the ICI investigations. Unfortunately, the ICI investigations do not appear to be very transparent to the public. They only release what appears to be a piecemeal investigation report. You had the former speaker go there and nothing came out. Nobody could see what they discussed. Nobody could see what questions were asked and what information the former speaker divulged. You even had a high-level U.S. Embassy official go to the ICI where nobody raised a question. Why would a foreigner be allowed to meddle in what is a closed-door Philippine government investigation? So this raised the clamor from business. Number two, businessmen are hurt now because consumption is really down. There is not much money going around the market. And if you talk to big, small, medium, they are all hurting. Masama ang negosyo. There is no demand.
From top to bottom, it's just a particular
Yes, whether
sector.
you are selling luxury item or you are selling basic goods, mahina compared to last year.
Now, having said that, how deep is the damage to business confidence and investor trust with this issue hanging over us?
Well, if you look at foreign direct investments, unfortunately, we are not up there in the ASEAN. We are one of the lowest. And this is primarily because every day in the news, they are just talking about flood control. And not just flood control, you also have all kinds of corruption in DepEd schools, DOH health centers. So I saw a CNBC video reporting that there's a $9.5 billion corruption scam in the Philippines. And this is viewed globally. So how would a foreign investor be interested to look at the Philippines when you have neighbors, Vietnam, Indonesia, Malaysia, and Thailand, who are extremely competitive and just focused on doing business?
How much has changed? The Philippines used to be called the tiger economy.
Exactly. If you recall, our name was always synonymous to Thailand, Indonesia, and Malaysia. But today, I wouldn't even call us a puppy economy.
No.
Everything is just slowing down. I always go out and say that, look at Vietnam, how do they support their agriculture? How do they support their manufacturing? Whereas in the Philippines, laging walang budget for subsidy, walang budget para tumulong. We have the highest. Number one tayo pagdating sa kuryente, number one tayo pagdating sa minimum wage, tapos kulelat pagdating sa investment, kulelat pagdating sa tourism. It's just sad. No? But
let's go back to the ICI and the business sector's call and appeal for more transparency. Now, what kind of power should this independent commission on infrastructure really have?
Today, ICI is just like a truth commission that President Ninoy Aquino created before. What the ICI should be is similar to Blue Ribbon Committee. Power of contempt, power to detain. It should be able to call on any and all government officials. The problem with the Blue Ribbon, they have this inter-parliamentary courtesy.
Yes.
That's why they cannot call on the congressmen that are really involved. The ICI, not having inter-parliamentary courtesy, should call on all these congressmen
Should be able to have that power.
who were involved in crafting that budget. The names have been mentioned so many times. Zaldico mentioned who his best friends were. So I hope the ICI focuses on this also.
When we talk about transparency, what kind of appeal are the business sectors, particularly the PCCI, asking the ICI or the government, like giving them more powers? That when you say transparency, people are saying how can there be transparency when it's locked behind closed doors?
You have to be open. You have to show it on live streaming. You have to show it on social media. You have to allow, let's say, a businessman, private sector representation. You have to have a CBCP representation. All levels of civic society should have representation inside the ICI. Number two, you cannot just tell us that Zaldico, Diskaya, and these two district engineers are the only guilty ones. Also, number three, when you're filing cases, let us know who are you filing cases against and what cases. Are these non-bailable cases? Also, you want them to waive their bank secrecy. Who are these that you want to waive the bank secrecy? And what accounts
And
did
to
you
what
find?
extent?
Yes, because as far as I know, it's always only peso account.
Yes.
But these politicians
You have offshore accounts.
have
that
offshore
use-
accounts,
yeah.
dollar accounts, even coded accounts. So how can you have access to these? Should you write to these foreign banks? Should
Dahil
you-
ba isama rin yung crypto?
Yes. Diba? I don't know how, but
Yeah.
the financial world is not that simple anymore. Now you just have a peso account and a.
It's very
But please tell
complicated.
me who owns what
Yeah.
and who owns how many. Magkano? Kasi it's only your BNC reporting who has these air assets.
Yeah.
Wala naman sa pangalan nila. So hindi mo mahahabol.
Yeah.
Also, PCCI wants, gusto natin maibalik yung pera. Kung ano mang assets na makukuha natin, especially yung mga air assets, yung mga bahay daw sa Forbes, etc., please i-auction out natin sa public para bumalik yung pondo. Because remember that all of this money came from taxpayer money,
Yes.
businessman's income, VAT. The government taxes us. Whether you spend money, you earn money, you don't spend it, may tax para doon. So dyan nang gagaling. Kaya medyo maingay na kami.
Have you seen on your observations the clamor of the people in terms of the tax that they're paying? What they're seeing is that the only way that the government needs to get money is put more tax. But the thing is, when the people clamor this, that they're paying the taxes, the business sector is paying a lot of taxes, but it's not going anywhere. So what needs to be really done? What kind of strong policy needs to be done?
We want to feel where our taxes go. Where is the infrastructure? Where's the public infrastructure? All the infrastructure we see is privately funded. You have to show us public infrastructure. Number two, please reduce the VAT on electricity and water. Diba? These are basic things that everyone pays for.
Yeah,
Businessman, not businessman, laborer. If you have stolen $1 trillion worth of taxes, let's say, give us some subsidy. From 12%, do you want to reduce to 10% or 8%? Just for water and electricity. Para maramdaman ng tao na may ginagawa yung gobyerno immediately.
So
Kasi
even-
ang hirap
yeah.
naman kunin yung assets.
So even the business community is seeing the investigations as slow.
Yes, we want fast, swift, and decisive decisions. We want names, we want bank accounts, we want assets.
Because some observers say that if it's slow, money can be transferred easily and baka hindi na mahabol.
If I have a penthouse full of peso cash, kinonvert ko na siya to dollar. Kaya makikita mo, kahit na dollar is dropping, laging 58 plus ang dollar natin. Siguro, ang daming taong nagko-convert ng peso nila either to crypto
Yes.
or to dollar. And if I am holding dollar, ang dami kong mabibiling instruments. Na yung dollar ko pwede ko na i-crypto. Yung dollar ko pwede ko i-gold. Kikita pa ako.
So many things to be done. Now, Brian, we've seen the stock market struggle lately. Investors clearly paying attention to policy signals. Do you think this issue is already weighing on market sentiment?
Yes, as I said before, stocks is always about public sentiment on a country especially. And you need foreign funds to immediately boost your index. And if foreign funds have negative sentiment on a particular country, it is very difficult. You see that almost the entire year, we remain at 6,000 level. Moreover, if you again compare to ASEAN, we are 1/10 of the volume of Vietnam.
There was one point in time we were over 7,000 mark.
Yes, last year, at this very same time, at the height of the Quadcom investigations on Pogo,
Yes,
on
Pogo,
intelligence
yes.
fund, and on impeachment, we were still at 7.5, meaning the international community and your domestic investors still believe. But today, it seems it's so difficult now.
In just a span of 1 year?
Yes, because this 1 year, that is when the flood control came out. And after flood control, you have all these other corruption allegations.
Because when you say it's in trillions, you really can't fathom it
I cannot
sometimes.
even imagine what is a trillion, di ba?
I know.
So, not only that, walang pera ang tao. Walang pera ang negosyante to invest. Because yung money na nakatago sa mga penthouse nyo or sa mga mansion nyo, hindi umiikot sa system.
Okay.
So, how can people have that investment?
Now, Brian, if government doesn't move soon and you say it's kind of moving slowly, the investigation, what's at stake for the businesses and the economy today?
Then we will see a further drop. People keep saying we are the next Myanmar. I hope that will never happen, but that is not far from reality.
True.
Businessman, at most, mag-iingay lang kami, we go to the streets. But I don't know what military, armed forces, PNP will do. Diba? The businessmen who are here, we will try to expand and remain our business here, titiisin natin yan. Ang kawawa, MSME. Ang MSME, wala naman siyang pera eh. Wala naman siyang access to financing. If the market is generally down, they will be forced to close also.
Hindi maganda magkagulo. It's not good for the business community.
Zero.
It's not good for the people.
We do not want.
Yeah, we
want
hope that.
everything peaceful as much as possible.
Now, while that appeal is shaking up policy circles, exporters and traders are feeling the pressure too. Now, Brian, how's the Philippine export scene right now? Give us a snapshot. Is it growing? Is it flat? Or is it falling behind?
Philippine exports is flat. Majority, more than 50% of your exports is on semiconductors. We were hoping that President Trump would give us some form of subsidy on this sectoral semiconductor export, but it's looking like it's even worse than the 19% he gave us on the general tariff. The sectoral tariff, I think, is 150%. So that's even more difficult for our manufacturers to export semiconductors now. I am just hoping that we can find an alternate solution, probably by finding other markets. Let's not focus totally on the US. Next year, we have an ASEAN Leaders Summit. Maybe we can open to ASEAN markets as well.
Hopefully that would be good news. Now, Vietnam and Indonesia are racing ahead. What are they doing right and what are we missing?
Vietnam is filled with subsidy. If you are a manufacturer, they give you electricity subsidy. Their price on electricity, I think, is now at 3 pesos per kilowatt lang. So that alone, you cannot compete na. Also, they protect their industries. They don't allow imports if they have that industry. So I hope, I've been lobbying government, please provide subsidy. Agri-sector, manufacturing sector. My appeal to reduce VAT on electricity and water is to help our industries become more competitive.
Now, a little bit of good news, maybe. Let's talk a little bit about how business and the Philippines can be boosted with events like this.
Well, events like this actually help partnership between the public and the private sector. Earlier, I heard the PBC chairman, Dennis Uy, inform us that he is offering the DPWH at free cost his database, some form of a blockchain solution to stop corruption in the DPWH, to monitor 20,000 simultaneous projects. At what stage they are, some form of progress billing.
That's badly needed.
Yes, and at no cost. I know he has done this also for PhilHealth, because there are a lot of anomalies also in that area. So that's good news for us. We always want to partner and provide our expertise. We also told Secretary Dizon earlier that the PCCI is national in nature. We have regional offices, we have local chapters. We can be your eyes and ears to monitor, physically monitor whatever
what's happening
project.
on the ground.
Yes, just provide us this portal where we can access what project, what status it should be. Then our people can be there on the site to help you.
Now, maybe another piece of good news. We've also seen the rollout of the new e-visa for China. How do you see that move affecting trade, tourism, and business links between our two countries today?
We have to laud the government for reopening this e-visa. China tourists have dropped to, it was at 2 million during pre-pandemic, and it has dropped to below 200,000 this year. So I thank the government for opening the e-visa. because it allows China tourists, who are one of the highest spending tourists, I think almost $2,000 per China tourist, into the Philippines. Also, I believe that tourism can be a gateway to bigger economic activity. When a tourist experiences the Philippines, he realizes it's a beautiful country, beautiful people who are all highly skilled, very young and able and English speaking. Maybe I can put up a business, expand my business, move my manufacturing into the Philippines. So this opens up a great deal of opportunity. I just hope China reciprocates. You know, when in diplomatic affairs, you have to be, there is a theory on policy on reciprocity. If I give you an e-visa, please give the Filipino an e-visa also. E-visa to go to China. So that Filipinos can also know how beautiful China is. Everything we see now about China is our ships colliding, and it's not good business.
Maganda yung you know, you give, you receive, diba? It's a good trade.
Yes, you will see how beautiful China is and how advanced they are, their economy is.
Yes. Now, looking at that, based on the observations and research of PCCI, where is the real bottleneck in policy, logistics, or competitiveness here in our local economy?
I think I handle kasi trade facilitation with the Bureau of Customs. They are very, very helpful with the private sector. In fact, they're about to restart this private sector consultative industry consultative group. And they had a project that they suddenly stopped, which is the pre-border inspection of containers. This was chaired by the DOF and the BOC, and suddenly it was stopped because of the Trump tariffs. I urge the Bureau of Customs and its leadership, please reopen this. It will give private sector expertise to determine what is the content of the container, even from the load port. It will help you a lot.
If you had a direct communication with the president, what would be the one urgent fix that could boost our exports?
Please provide subsidy to our exporters. Please waive VAT. Please waive VAT on electricity if you're a registered exporter. Just so that we can be competitive.
True. Now, that brings us to the bigger question. How do we finally catch up with our ASEAN neighbors and stay in the game?
As I said, you need subsidy to help. You need to lower your taxes. Please do not demand us to pay more taxes. If possible, please grant us some form of amnesty, especially the industries who are struggling right now, whether they be exporters or manufacturers.
Sir, today when we talk about technology, the new technology, AI and all that, how much of help can that boost the export community?
I look at this as the export of BPOs, of our manpower. AI actually is a deterrent, and it strikes fear into our BPO because it might replace our people who are earning, what, 45,000 minimum to start. Plus you have this new rule by Trump to repatriate the BPOs. So that is another big red flag that we have to address at the soonest time.
Now, Brian, what must we do now to stay competitive and build trust, not only locally, but to those foreign investors still on the fence, whether they want to invest here in the Philippines?
To build trust, you have to immediately settle this flood control issue, swift reforms, people in jail, recover the assets, end the story immediately so that we can move forward. I have contractors complaining to me, for example, they have legitimate DPWH business, but they cannot collect anymore. Why? Because all DPWH officers are afraid to sign their checks. If you do not sign the checks of the contractors, they will not continue building.
True.
If you do not continue building, this country is in a standstill. No public spending. Next year will be worse.
Now, Brian, we have this portion called the rapid fire questions. You just have to answer yes or no. No need to explain your answers. Let's start with this. Is corruption the biggest obstacle to doing business in the Philippines? Yes or no?
A big yes.
Big yes. Now, do you think foreign investors still trust our system? Yes or no?
Maybe.
Maybe. Can the export industry bounce back within the next 2 to 3 years? Yes or no?
I hope so.
Okay. Very positive outlook. Now, will the government actually listen to the business appeal?
Yes.
Yes. Hopefully.
Government listens.
And finally, just fill in the blanks, Brian. Money is the root of all
Evil.
evil. It's the usual. But we have to remain optimistic, you know, especially in the business community.
When I hear Vico Soto talk, when I hear Vince Dizon talk, to a certain extent, this young congressman, anak ni Loren Legarda, Leandro Leviste, I am filled with promise.
We need more of that.
If you can replicate these three politicians and put them in highest levels of government office, this country has hope. By 2028, you will have another younger generation of voters who will redefine again the landscape. Because what I notice is the traditional names do not automatically win anymore. Because the young voters have a different way of viewing. Hindi na sila nabibili ng boto.
True.
And that's why I'm filled with hope. You have to change
We really have to
the personalities if you want a change in the entire.
From top down or bottom?
It does not go bottom up. It only goes top down. It's like water.
True.
It's
Anyway,
a change in culture.
Brian, thank you for
Salamat.
your insights, and thank you for hopefully the appeal of the business community is taken into account by the government, and hopefully we can move on, build credibility, build integrity, and hopefully more foreign investors come in, and even local investors. You're saying even local investors are not really seeing the stock market as one place to invest right now, but hopefully
yes,
we
as
can
I
move.
told you, there were 2 IPOs that are put on hold, and I hope they reconsider if the market bounces back.
Okay. And there you have it, short, sharp, and straight. Sometimes the answers don't need a paragraph. Brian, thanks for keeping it real.
Thank you,
Thank
Robert.
you. Strong words from business leaders calling for reform, transparency, and action. The question now, will government move as fast as business demands? I'm Robert Tan. Stay curious, stay sharp, and always follow the money.